Hey everybody out there, it's Pastor John with your Midweek Reflection. We're coming towards the last phase of our series, The Living God, where we've been looking at prayer, both the theory of prayer, the theology of it, why we do it, and also some concrete prayer practices. And last week we looked at circle making, which is from a book called The Circle Maker by Mark Batterson. And the idea of circle making is to give us a very tangible, physical strategy almost to pray boldly, to pray persistently, to pray specifically for God's promises to come true in our lives and in the world. And so, we looked at two ways of circle making. One is you could just make circles, on a piece of paper where you write down what are your God dreams, what are your fears even, and draw a circle around those and say, God, bring your blessings, bring your promises into this circle to fulfill your promises in this area of my life or in the world. One of the things we did was after worship, we walked. We took a prayer walk around the neighborhood, around our church building, and that's something you might do, to circle a neighborhood and just ask God to bring His kingdom, have His kingdom come into your neighborhood or into the neighborhood around the church or wherever, God is stirring your heart. And so this is a way of calling on God and saying, we want to pray big prayers. We want to expect big things from God, not simply, to get by, to get through. Now this week, we're going to be looking at one of the reasons I think we don't pray boldly or pray specifically, and that is that sometimes we feel let down by prayer, disappointed. Our prayers seem to go unanswered. And so in preparation for Sunday, I encourage you to kind of look at this tough topic of a time in your life when you have prayed with all your heart for something, and it hasn't come to pass. God hasn't answered, at least in the way that you were hoping God would answer. And what did you do with that? Did you just hide it? Did you just forget about it and kind of say, oh well, and put it in your back pocket and try not to think about it too much? Or did you respond in some other way to that unanswered prayer? And how might you have seen God move or not move in your response to the unanswered prayer? So it can be a tough question, especially with Mother's Day coming up. I think unanswered prayers might be a big part of being a parent, being a mom, being a dad. And so it's maybe not as celebratory as we might normally route we might normally go for Mother's Day, but it is certainly relevant to that experience for mothers and those who haven't been able or haven't wanted to be mothers. So I encourage you to be pondering unanswered prayers over the next few days. As always, I look forward to worshiping with you as we live the gospel life together. Until then, may God bless you.